Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Podcast. I'm Connor, and as always, I'm joined by Linda.
Hi, Connor. Hi, everyone. How's it going today?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. That's actually a perfect way to start our topic today.
Oh, really? What are we talking about?
Starting conversations. It's something we all do every day, but it can be challenging sometimes.
That's so true. Some people are naturally good at it, while others find it difficult.
Which category do you fall into, Linda?
I'd say I'm somewhere in the middle. It depends on the situation and who I'm talking to.
That makes sense. Context matters a lot when starting conversations.
Definitely. I find it easier to talk to people in casual settings than in formal situations.
Like the difference between chatting at a coffee shop versus a business networking event?
Exactly. At a networking event, there's more pressure to make a good impression.
I feel the same way. Small talk can feel awkward when you're trying too hard.
So true. The best conversations happen naturally, don't they?
They do, but sometimes you need to make an effort to get the ball rolling.
Right. So, what are some good ways to start a conversation with someone you don't know?
Well, the classic opener is talking about the weather. It's safe and relatable.
Everyone talks about the weather, but is it actually a good conversation starter?
It's not the most exciting topic, but it works because it's universal.
I guess it's better than standing there in awkward silence.
Exactly. Once you break the ice with weather talk, you can move to more interesting topics.
What would you say after talking about the weather?
You could ask where they're from or what brings them to wherever you are.
Those are good follow-up questions. They show genuine interest.
And people generally like talking about themselves, so it keeps the conversation going.
That's a good point. Asking open-ended questions is better than yes or no questions.
Absolutely. If you ask someone, do you like your job? They might just say yes or no.
But if you ask, what do you enjoy most about your job? They have to elaborate.
Exactly. It gives them room to share more and keeps the conversation flowing.
What about conversations with strangers in everyday situations like waiting in line or on public transport?
Those can be tricky because you don't know if the person wants to chat.
Right, some people prefer to be left alone.
You have to read the situation. If someone has headphones in, they probably don't want to talk.
Good observation. Body language tells you a lot.
If someone makes eye contact and smiles, that's usually a good sign they're open to conversation.
What would you say in a situation like waiting in line at a coffee shop?
Maybe something like, this line is moving slowly today, or have you tried their new drink?
Those are relatable comments. You're both experiencing the same situation.
Shared experiences are great conversation starters because there's immediate common ground.
Like if you're both at a concert, you can talk about the music.
Or if you're at a dog park, you can comment on each other's dogs.
I love talking to people at dog parks. Dog owners are usually friendly.
Animals are definitely good conversation topics. Most people enjoy talking about their pets.
What about starting conversations at social events like parties?
That can be nerve-wracking, especially if you don't know many people there.
Do you have any tips for that situation?
Find someone who's also alone and introduce yourself. They're probably feeling just as awkward.
That's smart. Misery loves company, right?
Exactly. You can bond over being the awkward ones at the party.
What if everyone seems to be in groups already?
You can approach a group that looks welcoming and ask if you can join their conversation.
Most people are nice about that, I think. They'll make space for you.
Usually, yeah. And if they seem cold or unwelcoming, that's their problem, not yours.
Good attitude. Don't take rejection personally.
Right. Not everyone will want to chat, and that's okay.
Let's talk about compliments as conversation starters. Do you think that works?
It can, but you have to be genuine. Fake compliments are obvious.
What's an example of a good compliment to start a conversation?
Something specific and sincere, like, that's a really interesting book you're reading. Or, I love your jacket, where'd you get it?
Those are natural and give the person something to respond to.
Exactly. They can tell you about the book or where they shop.
What about complimenting someone's appearance? Is that appropriate?
It depends on the context and how you phrase it. You want to be respectful.
Right. There's a difference between your hair looks great and something that might make someone uncomfortable.
Definitely. Keep it appropriate and professional, especially with strangers.
Good advice. What about using humor to start conversations? Do you think that works?
It can, but it's also risky. What if they don't find you funny?
True, and humor doesn't always translate well, especially across cultures.
Good point. What's funny in one culture might be confusing or offensive in another.
So maybe save the jokes until you know the person better.
That's probably safer. Start with something more neutral.
What do you think about introducing yourself by name right away?
I think it depends on the situation. In professional settings, definitely. Introduce yourself early.
And in casual settings?
It can feel a bit formal, but it's not wrong. I usually wait for a natural moment to exchange names.
Like after you've been chatting for a minute or two?
Yeah, exactly. Once the conversation is flowing, you can say, "By the way, I'm Connor."
That feels more natural than starting with, "Hi, I'm Linda," out of nowhere.
Although, at networking events, that direct approach is expected.
True, different contexts require different approaches.
Let's talk about difficult conversation starters. What topics should you avoid?
Probably politics and religion, especially with people you just met.
Those topics can get heated quickly. Not ideal for a first conversation.
What about money? Should you avoid that too?
Generally, yes. Asking someone how much they earn or how much something costs is too personal.
Unless they bring it up first, I suppose.
Right. Let them guide the conversation to deeper topics if they want to.
What about current events? Can you talk about news?
Some current events are fine, but be careful. You don't know their opinions or experiences.
So maybe stick to non-controversial news, like sports or entertainment?
That's safer. Everyone has opinions about movies and sports teams.
Speaking of sports, that's a common conversation starter, especially among men.
It is. Did you see the game last night? Is a classic.
But what if the other person isn't into sports?
Then you've learned something about them and can switch topics.
I guess no conversation starter works with everyone.
Exactly. It's about being flexible and reading the other person's interest level.
How can you tell if someone wants to end the conversation?
They might give short answers, look around the room, or check their phone.
Those are pretty clear signs they're not engaged.
If you notice those signs, it's better to politely end the conversation yourself.
How would you do that gracefully?
You could say something like, "It was nice talking to you," or "I should let you go."
That's polite and gives them an easy out.
And it saves both of you from an awkward situation.
What about conversations with colleagues at work? Any special tips?
Work conversations can be tricky because you want to be friendly but also professional.
Right. You'll see these people every day, so first impressions matter.
I usually start with work-related topics. How's your project going? Or busy week?
That's safe and shows you're interested in their work.
Then, once you build rapport, you can talk about personal interests too.
Like hobbies or weekend plans.
Exactly. But keep it appropriate for a work environment.
No oversharing personal problems or controversial opinions.
Right. Save those conversations for close friends outside of work.
What about starting conversations online, like in chat groups or social media?
Online conversations are different because you can't read body language.
And you have more time to think about what to say.
That's both good and bad. You can craft a better message, but it might feel less natural.
What's a good way to start an online conversation?
Comment on something they posted or shared. It shows you're paying attention.
Like if someone posts a photo from their vacation, you could ask about the location.
Exactly. Engage with their content genuinely.
Not just nice pic, but something more thoughtful.
Right. Put in a bit of effort to show real interest.
Do you think starting conversations is harder for introverts?
It can be. Introverts often need more energy to socialize.
But introverts can be great conversationalists once they're comfortable.
Absolutely. They're often good listeners, which is equally important.
So what advice would you give to introverts who struggle with starting conversations?
Start small. Practice with low-stakes situations like talking to a cashier.
Build confidence gradually.
Exactly. You don't have to become super outgoing overnight.
And remember that most people are happy to have a friendly conversation.
Right. People aren't usually judging you as harshly as you think they are.
Everyone feels awkward sometimes. It's totally normal.
What about preparing conversation topics in advance? Is that helpful?
I think it can be, especially for events where you know you'll need to socialize.
Like having a mental list of safe topics you can bring up?
Exactly. It takes some pressure off in the moment.
But you also need to be flexible and let the conversation go where it naturally wants to go.
Right. Don't force your prepared topics if something else is flowing better.
Good point. The best conversations are authentic, not scripted.
What do you think is the most important thing to remember when starting conversations?
I'd say be genuinely interested in the other person. Ask questions and actually listen to their answers.
Not just waiting for your turn to talk?
Exactly. Real conversation is about exchange, not just talking at someone.
And don't be afraid of a little silence. Pauses are natural.
Yes, you don't need to fill every second with words.
Sometimes silence gives people time to think thoughtfully.
Well said. I think we've covered a lot of ground on this topic.
We really have, from weather talk to reading body language to online conversations.
Hopefully our listeners feel more confident about starting conversations now.
Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
And everyone feels awkward sometimes, even people who seem very confident.
Just be yourself and show genuine interest in others.
Great advice to end on. All right, everyone, that's all for today's episode of Daily English Podcast.
We hope you found our discussion about starting conversations helpful and practical.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Podcast.
And give us a like. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
We're here every day with new topics to help you practice and improve your English.
Tomorrow we'll be back with another interesting conversation.
Thanks so much for listening today.
See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.